Hey guys, when you are applying for a federal government job on USAJobs.gov, you probably notice there are over a dozen hiring paths. It can all feel a bit overwhelming. And before you create your job filter to search for a job, you have to have an idea on what pathways you will be eligible for. So, do you know which ones you are eligible for? Let's talk about it. First, we have open to the public category. This is pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you, me, your cousin, the guy down the street, we can all apply, and we can expect to receive the same level of consideration. This is the largest category out of all the pathways, and at the time of this recording, there are over 10,000 job announcements open on USAJobs.gov. So regardless of your status, as you are creating your filter, make sure to have this box checked. The next section mainly focuses on either current or previous federal employees, starting with the competitive service. This is mainly for current or former competitive service federal employees. Now, about 70% of all federal employees are in the competitive service category. The other 30% are usually in the expected service category. If you are a current federal employee and you are not sure what service you are in, then you can look in your SF50 and find out. Also, according to VEOA, veterans can apply to all positions open to competitive service. So check this box if you are a current competitive service federal employee or if you're a veteran. Now, if you've never been a federal employee and you're not a veteran, then this pathway is not for you. Next is the expected service pathway. You can apply to expected service jobs if you are a federal government employee in the expected service or if you are in the competitive service. Also, if you happen to be interested in working for, let's say, the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, or the Secret Service, you will find the majority of these type of agencies use the accepted service. The accepted service is considered a more streamlined way to hire federal government employees. This brings us to the internal to an agency pathway. This path is for current federal employees that are looking to stay within their agency. For example, if you are working at, let's say, the Department of Justice, and you're searching for other jobs in the Department of Justice, and you have this filter selected, then only internal DOJ jobs would be listed. And if you are not a DOJ federal employee, then you would not be eligible to be considered for one of the job announcements. You probably could still apply, but you will end up getting rejected. This option allows current employees within the agency to be able to rise through the ranks without facing competition from external federal employees. Next is the career transition pathway, such as CTAP or ICTAP. These jobs are offered to displaced federal employees or former federal employees that are eligible for reinstatement. If you didn't know, federal agencies can experience a reduction in force when it either removes certain positions or if it actually changes physical location. And that can result in displaced federal employees who can then benefit from this hiring path. Okay, so next is land and base management path. This allows eligible current or former time-limited employees of land management agencies an opportunity to compete for jobs. Now, the land management agencies include the Department of Agriculture, Forest Service, and the Department of Interior. If you have never worked in the land management agencies, then this pathway is not for you. Moving on, we have the Armed Forces section, starting with veterans. This is for applicants that are eligible for veterans preference, or if you've been separated from the military under honorable conditions after 3 or more years of service. If you would like to learn more about the different types of veteran preference, then check out my video above. Next, we have the military spouses pathway, which allows spouses of military members on active duty, spouses of 100% disabled service members, and spouses of service members who have died on active duty a non-competitive appointment to any position in the competitive service that they are qualified for. And best yet, there is no GS grade limit with this pathway. As you can see, this is a pretty powerful hiring path if you can qualify for it. There is also the National Guard pathway for jobs that are open for current National Guard members. At the time of this recording, there are 855 National Guard jobs available on USAJobs.gov. Moving on, we have the students and recent graduate pathway, which for current students allows for internship programs that can lead to a permanent job upon graduation. For recent graduates, it allows a preference to applicants who have graduated from a qualifying educational institute with either a degree or a certification in the past 2 years. Except for veterans, then the time is extended from 2 years to 6 years upon graduation. Finally, we come to the Senior Executives Pathway, which is for the senior executive level jobs that are above the GS-15 GS grade. This is the smallest pathway, with only 95 job announcements at the time of this recording being open. This actually requires a different type of resume, which will focus on the 5 executive core qualifications. You do not necessarily have to have previous government experience to qualify at this level, although you will typically see military generals or private company executives transition to the federal government at the SES level. And there you have it. Those are some of the main pathways you can filter through in order to find a job that you are qualified for. Now, there are a few more pathways that I did not discuss, such as people with disabilities, Native Americans, people who have served on the Peace Corps, and you can find out more information on those type of pathways by visiting USAJobs.gov. As for myself, I took advantage of the veterans preference when I transitioned out of the military. What about you? Do you qualify for any of these pathways? Which ones will you be using? Let me know down below. Well, that wraps up my video on which hiring paths are you applying for on USAJobs.gov. If you have any questions or comments, or you feel like I missed something, please leave that down below. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.